Hello, 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 everyone. I'm Dr. Tamara Beckford, and I am here to welcome you to the Inside the EntreMD Business School show. Alrighty, this week we are highlighting one of our superstars, Dr. Sade. I'm going to have her introduce herself and tell you all about what she does. Go ahead, Dr. Sade.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Farri. I'm a pediatric pulmonologist at Children's Lung Asthma Pulmonary Specialist. We're in Wayne, New Jersey. Thank you for having me, Dr. Beckford.
Hey, I am so happy to have you because I've seen you along in this journey, and I cannot wait to share all of this with those who are listening and those who are watching. Alrighty, so you are CEO there, you've opened your practice. There's so many things that has happened within the last 12 months. Tell us, what are some of your tangible wins that you've had within your business or even just your business life within the last 12 months?
There's so many, but I'll start with actually setting up the process that has now become my private practice.
Hmm.
I was an employed physician, and I first of all started by believing that I could do this and saw that, not listening to the negative chatter that's out there, that I can do this. Not Also, I think sometimes before now, I think I excluded myself. I'm this kind
Mm.
of shy introvert. I'm not a business type of person. So
Hmm.
the tangible thing is that, yes, I actually realized I could, and I
Hmm.
actually did set up the practice. And I set up the practice with a wait list which again, even though I started seeing patients 2024, it made a world of difference that there were people already signed up. And another thing that's tangible, it might look like an intangible, is I actually built my brand and I learned the how to. So I think those are some of my tangible wins from 2023 crossing into 2024.
Wow, how amazing. So you went from being an employed physician, really looking from the inside out, really saying that I would love to own and to start my practice, but not really sure if I can do it, right? So you started with the doubt and the fear, and then
Yes.
you move from that to building your brand, to building a wait list, to opening the practice with the wait list. So the belief in self, getting over the doubt, you were able to shatter a lot of that
Yeah.
within the last 12 months and
Yes.
just really now open this practice because, like you said, I believe that I could. Moved from the doubt to the belief. Now, those are some of those tangible wins, but then we have some intangible wins that has occurred within those last 12 months. Let's talk about some of those.
I think the first one is just personal growth.
Mm.
I would say personal growth that's even beyond, it translates to business, but it's beyond even business and life in general. So it's that it starts with, I think, belief in myself, but
Mhm.
it's also just a mindset of challenges grow you. And so
Mhm.
whether it's business challenges or life challenges, I can do this.
Mhm.
I would say another one is the community, learning to lean into community. And Dr. Beckford, you always said, challenge me on that. Is talk to people, ask this person has done this. So also learning how to lean into community. I think, and Dr. Una always said that too. The fact that sometimes we think in medicine, because I'm a pediatric pulmonologist, I think before now you'd have thought I only learn from pediatric pulmonologists,
Mhm.
but learning that, whether it's dermatology, any kind of business, doesn't matter, a specialty or even the model of business that that
Mhm.
person is doing, I learned to lean into community. I think another one was also just the power of imperfect action, you
Mm.
know, just taking action. I got challenged so often to just make sure, oh, it's not as good or as big as someone. And also just dealing with comparitis. I think as someone who was introverted, to borrow Dr. Una's phrase, introverted introvert 2.0, it was just like living inside my head and self-doubting and criticizing and shooting down my ideas
Mhm.
before and so because of that, sometimes because I was comparing myself to someone else, I
Mhm.
wouldn't do it because
Mm.
it didn't look as good. So
Right.
learning to overcome that for myself, was a big win. And I think Though there's probably many more I could say, but let me stop talking.
No, those are very, very, very big wins. And I'm pretty sure what you are describing is what's going on in the heads of many physicians who want to start their practice, who are at the beginning of their practice. They're looking and they're comparing it. Well, my practice doesn't look like that other person's practice. I would love to start and, I have this idea, but then I start to compare myself or
Yeah.
doubt myself. We are in a field, which is medicine, where we've been trained to really sit and be perfectionists. So now, like you mentioned, the imperfect action, learning how to take imperfect action is such a powerful, powerful lesson that it supersedes so many wins that one can have within their business. Just learning how to take imperfect action and dealing with the comparitis. So for those who are listening, you're like, I have never heard of that word comparitis. Understandable. It is one of our EBS words where we think about and we're talking about comparing ourselves to other, where we have a chronic issue with comparitis. That's something that we overcome and take the imperfect action. So very, very great, valid point. Now, with every high, there are lows. And within EBS, we call them wins and we call them lessons. Now, within the last 12 months, what were some of your biggest lessons that you've learned?
I think that so I think it's hire slowly,
Mm-hmm.
fire quickly.
Oh.
So I would say actually that one is one where I had this opportunity to hire a medical assistant, which I did, and I thought it was convenient and an easy way. And so early on in the process, very young practice, I quickly realized, and all I'm learning about the importance of the team, how to delegate revenue generating activities. And I was trying to implement everything I was learning, but there was this person that I would give this task to, that these are the things I wanted you to do. And then I started to realize that, it wasn't working. And at first I was going to go down that, oh, it's my fault. But thankfully I've heard it again and again, right? And I thought, oh, maybe it was how to lead. How do I correct? How do I not correct too often? So I think it was know the qualities and the character traits that you want in a position or in a role.
Mm-hmm.
And it's better to be patient and not to be like, oh, easy hire, and then find it. Because then it would make, now thankfully the person I have, I could delegate some of those activities, even though she's part-time. When I delegate it to her, I just come back and I correct, but she can do many of those things. So I think that's the biggest one actually, because it set me back initially.
So learning how to hire slowly and fire quickly, which is a big lesson that it's a lesson that is hard to really grasp. As you mentioned, you're going through the process because your mind is saying, hey, this person looks great. They have this title, they've done this before, allegedly, so they should be able to ABC. However, as you mentioned, your practice is unique, your team is unique, and therefore taking the time to get the right team member is good. So now you've even mentioned that you're using someone who's working with you part-time, and that person seems like they're running circles around the person who was there before. So you're getting even more done with someone who's working part-time. And it's all because you've taken heed to the lessons that you learned, which is to hire slowly and fire quickly. Alrighty, so we've had lessons, we've talked about tangible, intangible wins, within EBS. So since you've been a part of EBS, which is the EntreMD Business School, what would you say were some of the ways that the EntreMD Business School was able to help you within the last 12 months to achieve some of your goals?
Absolutely. So um, starting the process of building a brand before actually opening a practice, right? Not rather than, which I would have done if I wasn't in EBS, probably thought getting the space, getting the logistics was more important. So learning that I needed to own my brand and find a way to express it and build it up, which I still need to do more, but I did that. That's number one. Number two, I learned to to look at the systems building. There's probably a better term for it, but that idea that if you build a system within what are the fundamentals, what's very important for your practice, like Dr. Una always says, it's not just about seeing patients, it's about making sure that starting from getting them in to getting paid. So learning the process of putting systems in place, learning how to, again, starting small, but learning to what are the things that I would need to do to make sure that my team is profitable, that everything that I'm doing is an investment rather than just an expense, right? So that's another thing that I think I've learned and I've implemented. I think it's the value of how to grow your business. For me, referral sources are a big deal. I opened my practice visiting referral sources, pediatricians and places and preschools. And now I'm having those people call me. I've had 10 calls from one particular place within a short time, and they've all come in one day to set up appointments over the next several weeks. That's one of the things. Also, just learning how to, so referral sources, I've mentioned that. And then pathways for growth. I think I would have thought that maybe I wouldn't be thinking, what would I do to grow? But because of the community, comes back, I think I mentioned that earlier, but comes back to community, because I've mingled with people whose practices are 15 years old, 20 years old, probably several times bigger than what I have, but they have been able to share, this is what I did when I was starting, this is what I did. And so I've also, that has helped, so that even though I'm this size now, but I'm beginning to think, okay, when I get to this particular level, these are certain things I can do to scale and to grow the practice. So and then just general, the power of speaking. I think it's one of the things that is central EBS. I would have thought the private practice is just about being a good physician in a door, which I was for a long time as an employed physician, but I wouldn't have realized how, whether it's speaking. Another thing I have to say, I would never have done this for EBS, was a Women's Day event. The Chamber of Commerce was hosting just last week. And 2 weeks after I joined, I said, "Oh, can I be at that event?" And she said, "No, usually people wait until they're." But I said, "No, I need to join. I need to be a vendor," and I was, and I've already gotten patients, and I've gotten referral sources. I also met a radiology center. We said, "Oh yeah, let me have your cards. I'll give them out." So also just learning how to lean into things in the community, referral sources, but also just learning how to market in ways that I think are unique to your business. And then, again, people share their experience, but then we personalize it and make it work for us. So
many. I love all the different ways that you have been able to use all that you're learning in EBS. And, some of the things that you've talked about is learning how to, one, brand yourself, realizing that you are your brand, and realizing that going out and building a business requires you to go out and to do some of the work. So yes, I'm a private practice owner. So being a great physician alone isn't enough. Why? Because we're all great physicians. How would people know about you if you don't go out and tell them? So you did the work and you learned from those who are around you. So not only did you go out and actively let people know who you are and that you're starting your business, you are also putting systems together, because you recognize that a business that's well run through systems can grow. And then with the growth mindset that you have, you've already visualizing yourself, when I reach these parts. Now, if you haven't noticed, you did not say if, and I listened especially, you said, when I get to this point, I'm going to be able to implement this that I've learned from my EBS colleagues who are 15 years, 10, 15, 5 years, or even 1 year ahead, right? Because one of the beauty about being around others is that you learn from them. You're able to implement, and like you said, pull from different industries. So your mind isn't set to say, oh, well, I can only learn from those who are doing pediatric pulmonology. You're learning from all the different businesses and all the entrepreneurs who are around you. So this is just wonderful. Now, With that being said, there's some people who are listening to this, Dr. Sade, and then they're saying, this sounds great, but I don't know if this is for me. And, another thing that you haven't even mentioned, like you're saying that, yeah, you've gotten like 10 referral sources. Even one of your days, you had 16 patients. You, at this recording, how long have you been open? Just to have people really understand
This is
how
our
much of an impact.
sixth week, 6 week in business.
So this recording, you are 6 weeks in business. You've had a referral sources call in 10 people, one of your resources. You've had a day that you've had 16 patients. You started a practice with a wait list. Mind you, you've already done the slow to hire and quick to fire. So you have learned all of this and you are still building, and your mindset is still, when I get to this level, I'm going to do this. Keep in mind, those who are listening, 6 weeks in business. Now, with all that you've learned, Dr. Sade, someone is out there wondering, I'm on the fence. I don't know if I should join the EntreMD Business School. What would you say to that person?
Oh, I would say, first of all, you need to believe in yourself. You need to believe that you are worth it, that your dreams are valid. And when you do that, then you have to make practical steps to go after them. I think EntreMD Business School is a good place to come to do that. The community, we've said again and again, is so vast, and so there's so many types of businesses and types of examples that are within this community. I think that the challenges and the opportunity for you to then lean into your path and run is here. I think the fees that you'll pay is an investment. I think you're worth it, and I think that you should believe in yourself and show it by giving yourself a chance to do it.
Love it. She said, believe in yourself, invest in yourself, show it, give yourself a chance to really explore that entrepreneur that's in you and to get them to that next level, because that's what's happening with us here within the EntreMD Business School. Now, if you haven't noticed, we just gave you a glimpse of what it's like to be inside the EntreMD Business School, but we are extending a full invitation for you. So if you would love to be with us as we build our profitable businesses and our profitable dream life at the same time, because we're doing this all at the same time. We're not doing one at the expense of the other. We're having the best life, best relationships with family, friends, and we're building extensive businesses here in the EntreMD Business School. So we invite you to join us. Thank you so much, Dr. Sade. Do you have any last words for someone who is out there and thinking?
I think that do it and thank Dr. Beckford later. I think I think yes. I think that this is a don't procrastinate, don't postpone your dreams, don't say maybe. Sometimes also you say maybe when I get this certain amount of money or this certain I think even as an employed physician that's planning to do something, I think there's value in doing it now. I think postponing your dreams and waiting at some perfect time is one of the ways that we cheat ourselves.
Like she said, don't cheat yourself. Don't postpone on your dreams. Thank you so much, Dr. Sade. Farri, yes, the owner of the, tell us the business again.
Children's Lung Asthma and Pulmonary Specialist in Wayne, New Jersey.
In Wayne, New Jersey. Open for 6 weeks at this recording and is already killing it, like we say in business. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for those who are listening and or watching. As I said, we have invited you to join us inside the EntreMD Business School. I'm Dr. Tamara Beckford, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.